What's up? What's up? This pimp shit right here. Somebody been asking me to do this topic for a while, so I finally said I'd do it. It took me some time to think about it, cause it's not as simple as people would like to think. But she wanted to know why guys, if they so-called love a girl, why do they cheat on her? Took some time to think that one out, and hopefully I will answer her question, and maybe I'll enlighten some of y'all in the same motherfucking time. You know what I mean? But first off, this I'm gonna say it like this: it might not apply to your person specifically. You know what I'm saying? Might not apply to your person specifically. But if you hear some comparisons in this shit, you know, take what you take from it. But let me get started. Y'all see where I'm coming from. The thing about guys, well, about at least I know black men, but we are not the hopeless romantic types. You know what I mean? So we're not the types that instantly want to dive into being in love. You don't instantly want to jump into being in love, but when you take that and you add it on to that fear of jumping into being in love, and you might be wrong. That's with any man or anybody. We don't want to be hurt. But with black men, is that we already see, or with some men, like men go through this of seeing women and seeing all varieties of women and understanding that they outnumber us, and that, you know, part of becoming a man, quote unquote, is to have sex, and the more you have sex, the more manlier you are somehow, and all of that stuff. But growing up in the hip hop culture and in the black culture, is magnified by like 10. You know what I'm saying? So take fear of love, not fear of love, but cautiousness about falling in love. Add it on to, you see all the girls you can get. Add it on to, you know that that's part of like your right, like that's your passage. And then add that on to the pressure of just making sure that you've already had enough women before you fall in love. That type of thing. It's hard to break all that down, especially for somebody that's in the moment. So if you think all of that, this goes for men, period, but I'm speaking from a black man's perspective, but this goes for men, period. We don't break all that down like that. So we might fall in love, and we'll be in love, but it's still that subconscious of there's more women out there to be conquered. You feel me? There's more to explore, there's more to see. So while we're in love with this woman, there's also something pulling us, a curiosity, a want. With some men it's a need. And with both of those comes pressure. Because you have pressure to love and be with this one person, and some guys can do this. So this ain't even for y'all motherfuckers. It's that pressure to love and be in a committed relationship, and then it's that want and that curiosity, and some pressure to want to consummate and fuck everything that you see. Any fine looking girl you see, you want to fuck. So once you take that and you break it down, and you understand that this man might love you, he does love you, but he also wants to have sex, and he also wants to explore. That's why they talk about, like, especially in the youth, like around my age, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be harder. So if you take that and you add on top of that he loves you, you have to be able to break that down. You have to be able to separate that thing. It's not that he loves you and he wants to get away with it. Well, with some dudes it is, but it's not that he loves you and he wants to get away with it. It's he's going through it too. He's had that fight where it's like, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? It's like an eternal battle. It's just not he got a relationship with you and he's like, oh shit, I'm still gonna cheat on this bitch. Not if he's in love with you. But if he's in love with you, there's a battle. And you have to understand, a nigga might slip the fuck up, just like girls might slip up. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be harder it's gonna be harder for especially a young dude and a young black man with that, because dudes are mean, period, to each other about not getting no pussy, about not fucking, about not having sex. But when it comes to black guys, it's just we go hard on each other. It's like, you ain't fucking yet? The fuck wrong with you, nigga? Like, you ain't beat that? How long you been going out with her? Oh, for real? She ain't giving you no pussy? Shit, you a stupid motherfucker. You dumb as hell. It's like that constantly. So, I mean, all of that is like, it's the fact of you not fucking. Or you have to fuck, or you need to fuck, or like once you start fucking, you see how good it is, then you don't want to slow down. So if your relationship hits a sore spot and he's used to sex, he still loves you with his heart, but his body needs satisfaction. You feel me? So that sort of can bounce back and forth. There might be times where he'll say no, I can't, and he'll fight it off, and then there'll be times where he's horny and he just is stressed and he needs that release, and he'll fuck up. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean that his love for you has gone anywhere. His love is still there. He still loves you. It's just that lust is a motherfucker. It'll grab you. It'll grab you and you won't even know. It'll choke you and bring you to your knees. So he'll love you intensely. And that love will not go anywhere. But he might fuck up and have sex or get head or whatever. That doesn't mean that he does not love you. And people like to say, well, if he really loves you and stuff like that, then he won't cheat. But that's harder to say. That's harder to say because it's like he might really love you, and he can extremely love you intensely from the bottom of his heart, but it's never gonna be, might never be that one thing that can calm him down. You know what I'm saying? That can actually bring him down a little bit. It takes a very powerful woman to know that a man is weak in certain situations, and she understands that. And then she keeps moving on, and she understands it and works with him with it. Because while you're focused on this one thing, and this man loves you, he does for you and stuff like that, you're not going to get a 100% good guy. So you have to be able to work with that stuff. Like, we have to be able to work with girls with certain things. You have to be able to work with some of that stuff. And if you're not, and I'm saying you don't have to be stuck with them, because like I tell people, love ain't everything. You can fall in love again. You can. So if you're not the type of person that can try to work with it, or talk to him about it, or see how you can fix it, if there's a solution that you can find, and you know that he's weak in that situation, and you're not going to try to help him out of that situation or to counsel him so he can think better in that situation, and you're just going to be like, all right, you say you love me, you go out there, we'll see. It's not going to work out for you that way. It's just not. It's not going to work out for you, then you're going to be feeling fucked up. But you have to understand that the love might not go anywhere. It's just at that moment he's caught up and his thoughts are gone. Because when a nigga gets hard, the blood flows from his head, from his feet. So he might not be thinking rationally. He might not be thinking completely emotionally. Like, we all know men go by sight. So what he sees that he wants to fuck is right there. He'll have that battle with himself. But then it'll be that snap where it's like, I want that right there, right now. So you have to understand that and work with them. And if you can't work with them, then that's completely fine. That's completely understandable. That's completely understandable. You know what I mean? If you cannot work with him with that situation, then, you know, just move on. And y'all both go y'all separate ways. Y'all can remain friends, but to make sure you do not get hurt and that your soul doesn't get dug into. Just make sure y'all stay friends. Don't get too close and too attached, and both y'all end up fucked up at the end. But if you are one of those type of women that is willing to work with them, then once y'all finally come to an agreement and y'all work the shit out and y'all talk it out, and he understands and he's trying and he knows how to think his way through shit now, the love will be even more intense than what it was before. It'll be even more intense because he's seen that you took the time to work with him because you loved him that much, and he will love you and reciprocate it back to you. Now that's something to think about. It's pimp shit.
Yeah. Always staying smooth like I'm Keith Stone. A little captain in me, leg up, stand strong. I won't stop till me money getting super long. All the haters asking what the fuck is you on. Never can I get enough, like I'm too stingy. My granny told me that my eyes bigger than my stomach. They called me king back when I was just a fucking youngin'.